may get a bill here.
I turned mine on.
Last week I contacted him twice on that. Called me the other day, in fact, and he said, Rob. What does he do?
So it's streaming now.
It's on now.
He said that,
Streaming?
Yep.
maybe there's
Yeah, I'm on.
a key person on the DME that he got a hold of when they fixed season now.
Yeah.
He said maybe sometimes you gotta get the right person or whatever.
I,
Or maybe use the right threats or something.
Road, uh,
What we need to do is take one of these cats
able to
out,
just watch
hook that railroad track.
we hooked one last week with the motor.
I can't believe you don't do that more
Video
often.
test, video
Yeah,
test.
they're terrible.
Video test. It's
But
got
you
the
can-
video
you
test
can-
from 6
you
from
can
last
hook-
week.
You can tear all the plank and everything on that thing.
That's, 1 on 6, that's.
I'm a subscriber.
Yeah.
I'm a one subscriber.
The rails, it's all gone.
I'm not seeing it.
We can't do
I don't know,
it.
I've never watched the live
Road
stream.
going up to
So.
us.
Yeah, oh, I know. Yeah.
I even got called on that, Myron.
Oh, man, every week I get.
And I've recorded calls starting probably 4 years ago, and they have repaired everyone between Rockville and northeast corner of the county except that one.
I was waiting for one of those guys just to dump a load of gravel on top of the railroad tracks.
I've got people that got saying they were gonna do that.
Well, there's a there's a rock right there.
Yeah.
I had a neighbor with a loader that said it wouldn't be hard to do.
Well, we've got speed signs out at 50 miles an hour on the railroad crossing now.
It says it's streaming on here.
I see, up here at 14th, up by, the kids crossing, they put those flashing lights. They got a solar panel up there now. They got the red flashing lights around the stop signs.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, we got them on 81, but
Well, they really show up.
Here it says live, it's searching, it's live now.
Past live streams, uploads.
How's your, have you had the?
Is it doing what it's supposed to?
Where's that? That's last week.
I've seen the-
So you mainly just had to sign this, but it says if we have any in order to complete it. I re,
This is the independent to Cindy.
okay.
yeah.
Here's Cindy.
No, not,
We're out the last 2 weekends.
so when I go here.
How are we supposed to have that information?
What's that?
They wanted to know an environmental, whatever, we wouldn't have
Live
that.
now ones.
About every day.
This goes back to where I was.
I think they're saying there is none. That's what that stand
Oh,
down below.
So where do you see the live stream?
Cindy, we make a copy of that and then I'll, before you would send that back or whatever. Okay.
That's a red.
I'll forward that on to
You
Cindy
know, if you go to
Danbury,
PC,
just to let them
thing at the
know
top,
about that if you
you
don't
can
think.
Maybe it is this one.
see up on the top right, on air, red is on.
Oh, wait.
And if you- If you actually move the cursor
Just
to
right
the
here.
green button, because remember before it went
There you go.
yellow? But if you move.
Do you have
the cursor
batteries
to the
in
green
your
button,
desk or
it
not?
says Stop streaming.
Nope.
So that-
Okay, nope, you need 2 of those, I think.
So it's supposedly streaming right now.
I just don't know how to see it yet.
Did you subscribe to it?
Yeah, I'm subscribed to it. I'm one of the 2 subscribed. But I don't know how to actually watch it live stream.
This is the goofiest damn remote.
So what time do you have, Cindy?
9:01.
Okay. Okay, I'd like to call this meeting of our county commission to order. And just for the record, this is the first meeting that is being video recorded and at the same time live streamed on the internet. And so maybe I'd ask Commissioner McElhaney to just make a comment as to how folks can locate this video stream on the internet.
Yes, what it's being done is it's live streaming through YouTube. So you can get on your computer and go to YouTube, and under the search engine, it's Cottington County SD, and then apparently there's lots of things that you can find under that. But anyway, it's a little blue screen that shows a guy, like a head and chest type thing, and then you basically click on that, and there's a test from a week ago that's like 2 minutes and 5 seconds long, but that's how you would find one. Like next week, you can go in and find this one, but each meeting will be typed in there by the date, and it'll actually be by the year first, so it'll say 2016-12-20. That would be the live meeting right now that we're on.
Okay, well, thank you for that, and I'm turning to agenda item number
make a
1, which is to
motion.
approve that agenda.
I'll make that motion to approve the agenda.
And a second by Commissioner Gable. Discussion, hearing none. If you're in support, say aye.
Aye.
And if you're opposed, say no. Might just mention in connection with agenda item 1, if you have a cell phone that will sound off, please make actions to silence it so it does not sound off during the meeting. Item 2 is to approve the minutes
Move
of
to
December
approve as mailed.
13. Motion by Hinton, second by McElhaney to approve those minutes. Discussion. Hearing none, if you're in support, say aye.
Aye.
And if you're opposed, say no. The ayes have it, that motion is carried. Item 3 is monthly reports. We'll start with Mr. Small.
Good morning.
Good morning, Rick.
Not a lot to report. We've been working on the signing project. The contractor is finishing up on the countywide signing project. And we, the highway department, are working on salvaging a pile of signs and posts. Right now, we have a policy of selling them as scrap iron, but a lot of these are good posts. We're salvaging them, and I will come to the commission at a later date and propose establishing a price on these posts. Maybe it'll be $4, whatever per post. But they're excellent posts. There's no sense in selling them as scrap iron. Other entities can use them if they want. Ag people can use them. I mean, this is stuff that you use for a fence. That'll be the last time you'll have to put them in, and I think we can sell them for cheaper than what they can buy a regular T-post for. So that's something that's coming up. We've also been out trimming trees in the towns. I don't know if maybe some of you have heard the town has been in South Shore and Henry and so forth, trimming trees, and the reason we're doing that, it saves on our mirrors and strobe lights and so forth on the motor graders when we're cleaning snow, so we go in and do a little tree trimming. Guys, since the 2 recent snows, we've been out just about every day. Had somebody out last on Sunday, December 11th, we were out for a few hours, and then again the 17th, Saturday, the following Saturday, we were out for a few hours, and with the wind and stuff forecast, we're going to be out virtually every day cleaning up the snow that we have right now. The forecast for the end of next week, or the end of this week, excuse me, the beginning of next week don't sound good either. The last I heard, they were talking 1 inch of precip, which
About a
converted
foot
to
of snow.
That's like 10 inches to a foot of snow, depending on what the temperature is. So, also, we're putting the motor grader back together. We had an unfortunate situation where the motor grader, the one out of Kransburg, caught a railroad track at Rawville and did substantial damage. In fact, right now, just the cost of the parts that we picked up so far, we're at $20,000, and there's about $8,000 more to go. But it is insured, and it's $1,000 deductible, so it's fortunate that we had the insurance, but unfortunate that it happened. And this is one that a crossing that the railroad BNSF did replace all the wood and everything in it last year. It didn't do any damage to the crossing, but it did raise the crossing up. It's
Which one is that? Where
right
is it?
south of Rawville.
Oh, right there.
Yeah. Last year, if you remember, that's the one they took all the,
Yeah, I see they got painted. There's a bunch of markings on it, right?
but no, that's, it sticks up a little higher, and that's, I guess that's no excuse for catching it, but probably one of the factors in catching it.
So what kind of damage occurs to the machine then, Rick?
If the circle, the drawbar that the blade hangs on,
Yeah.
it bent that up. The shoes, there's a set of shoes that hold the circle on so it rotates, and it busted those shoes. That's the biggest damage.
I see.
And all the shims and the wear pieces attached to them and so forth. It'll end up being, I'm guessing, just in parts around $27,000.
Okay.
I guess that's all I have on the report.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
just want to thank Rick for helping with the, we're doing the soil boring for Highway, the 212 site, and so you or your guys helped clear some of the snow on that
Oh,
site. So that-
sure.
Yeah, and we did that yesterday. I talked to, was it Brennan?
Brennan, yeah.
Communicated with, and he thought they were gonna be in there yesterday afternoon at 3:30, so we cleaned it at 2:30, but I just drove through it this morning. We're gonna have to do it again. We blew back in, so I'm waiting for a call from him. And I told him, just let us know an hour or so ahead. The way the wind was, that's, you know, and if you plow it out an hour later, you're gonna have snow blowing.
And people notice that because I had a gentleman in my yard last night that was asking a lot of questions about what was going on out there already. Oh, yeah.
That field,
Yep.
yeah, they have the stakes out there, and all we do is make a couple laps, so they can get close to the stakes. And I said, we'll be out there again, you might hear about it again, because I just checked on it this morning, and it's blowing back in.
You didn't tear up the winter wheat that was planted.
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Do you want to go to the bid letting? Or you want to take my-
Well, let's take Milo's report and then we'll come
All right.
back to you.
Sorry, I switched those two around.
Morning, Milo.
Good morning.
Morning, Milo. In case you didn't hear earlier, you're on TV, so
Should have colored in the bald spot. Well, I'm not gonna hang you up too long so you can look at your bids for your motor grader, but I deliver glad tidings and well wishes from the maintenance world. We'll call this our Christmas report and nothing but good news. I just put together a few year-end statistics to share with you, kind of give you a snapshot of what goes on in each building. The ag building had 405 work orders placed this year, 36% of them having to do with building rentals, 28% are 4-H related, combination of table and chair rental and 4-H meeting room setups, that type of thing. 14% customer service, things kind of out of the ordinary, like delivering paper or things like that for the office people. The courthouse had 346 work orders placed. 47% of those were planned maintenance, which would be like dealing with these unit heaters that are in every office. 33% of work orders were customer service, and 10% were dealing with repair and maintenance items. At Detention Center, we had 384 work orders placed. 35% of them were planned maintenance. 35% were repair and maintenance, and 12% were vandalism related, with 8% being customer service. So we didn't really find any real surprises in there. Kind of indicates, the real world workings in each building, I would say. Other than that, that's all I have for you today. Any questions?
Yeah, I do, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead, sir.
Furnace out at the Extension Center down yesterday, is that one of the things on the list of replacements, or how did they get it?
No.
You got it fixed? or-
No, it has been Band-Aided, it's working right now, just temporarily, and we're waiting for prices you know, to see which direction we go for repair or replacement or whatever we have to do.
Mr. Chair, one question.
Yes, sir.
Milo, can you enlighten the rest of the board? I talked to you last week, and the lighting project out there is completed.
Yep, the lighting project in the barn has been completed.
And I heard people on Derby Downs was asking to shut some of them down because it looked like the sun was rising in the east again.
It does make a world of difference out there.
Huge difference.
Say that, we discovered right off, don't look up into those lights.
Well, the thing with LEDs, I mean, you'll see on like public safety first responders is there's a window that they're focused at, and yeah, if you get in front of them, it's definitely blinding. So
Yeah. No, that project has been completed, and I would expect we'd get nothing but rave reviews.
and that's the project that the Chamber Ag Committee gave us the money to upgrade that system. So
It's recommended to wear a cap out there, huh?
Yeah.
So we don't burn our bald heads.
Yes, sir. Mr. Gable?
Quick question, what did you say was the percentage of vandalism reporters in the?
Oh, that's 12%.
Okay, thanks.
Okay,
All right,
Thank
thank
you,
you,
Milo.
sir.
thank you, have a Merry Christmas.
Thanks,
as well.
Milo. Same to you.
yes,
That
Merry
completes
Christmas.
item agenda 3. We turn now to item 4. We have scheduled at 9 o'clock the opening of certain motor grader bids. So I'll ask Mr. Small, the highway superintendent, to open those bids, and then we'll see where we go from there.
Thank you. Hopefully, we don't have any Russian government tapping, monkeying with these bids, right?
Right. It appears we have two bids. The first bid is from Butler Machinery. And we do have a surety bid bond in place for 10%. Everything looks in place on that. And on these bids, as you notice on the tally or tab sheet, I did 6 different ways. The first bid, bid A there, is a conventional purchase. Bid A conventional with no trade for a Caterpillar 140 M3 all-wheel drive is $331,615.
Are we buying just one, Rick?
Two.
Or two, okay?
The specs call for one or more, but
Yeah.
the plan is to buy 2. Bid B, conventional bid considering trade of one of our motor graders, 140 M2 motor graders that we have in Watertown. The cash price is $331,615. Trade value of $135,000. The net price of $196,615.
Say that number one more time.
$196,615.
Thank you.
Now, bid C is the same as bid B, except it's using the trade of the other motor graders with serial number 164. The numbers are the same for that one. 331,615, 135,000 trade allowance. net price of $196,615. And I might add that 135,000 trade value, that is the amount that was guaranteed repurchase when we purchased those motor graders 5 years ago. Bid D, total cost with no trade, the Butler did not bid. Bid E, total cost with trades, neither one of them, there was no bid. That is the bid from Butler Machinery. The other bid is from RDO Equipment.
Say that again, please.
RDO,
RDO.
yes.
What does RDO stand for? Gotcha.
Bid bond, everything seems in order on their bid bond. Bid A, conventional bid with no trade, 320,000 even. Bid B with the trade of the serial number 163. $320,000. And they will not, they suggest using Butler's buyback. They did not offer a trade. So the net price is $320,000. Bid C. Trade of the other machine, the numbers are the same, 320,000.
What brand machine is being bid here?
The John Deere is a 772
Okay.
GP.
Okay.
And that's RDO.
Yes,
770 what?
772 GP. On bid D, total cost with no trade. Cash price is $320,000. Guaranteed repurchase in 7 years is $122,016.25. For a net price of $197,983.75. Bid E, total cost with trade of serial number 163 is $320,000 cash price. There again, no trade value. Suggest that Cottington County should exercise Butler Machinery buyback. Same on the guaranteed repurchase, $122,016.25 for a net price of $197,983.75. serial number 164 for trade. The numbers are identical to bid E.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
I would recommend that Rick take some time and review the bids now and the specs and come
Okay, I
back.
would at this time then take a motion to postpone the award of the bid till later in this meeting.
So
I'll
moved.
second that.
Moved by Johnson, second by Hinton. If you're in support, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The
Mr.
ayes
Chair,
have it, the motion
one quick
carries.
question, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
So the Butler bid was on a Caterpillar model,
Yes, 140 M3.
140 M3, and the RDO was on a John Deere. Gotcha.
Rick, while you're here, we heretofore have had a lot of success doing greater purchases by having the guaranteed buyback. Would you comment a little bit on what's going on in the new and used market and why we apparently are getting bids a little differently than we have in the past?
Evidently, the market for the return machines, from what I hear from sales reps and so forth, is the market overseas has gone way down. A lot of them used to go overseas, and now that market, there's not much of a market there, so the value of the used machines is not what it used to be.
And then just one other question. In the past, we have, as it were, I guess, tested the market or put the used machines on some kind of auction, Big Iron, or I forget the names of some of those larger equipment auction houses, and actually came out a little better than some of the guaranteed buybacks or whatever. So would you comment on that? How do you see that?
They were advertised, we never did actually utilize them as an auction service. We had a bid letting, a sealed bid letting, prior to accepting the buyback. Like, for instance, this time it's 135, and the market for used machines was better at that time, so I suggested bid letting, and we have in the past got more than the repurchase price doing a bid letting. I don't think we'll do that this time. If we went to a bid letting, I'm sure we wouldn't get with that guaranteed repurchases.
Sure, sure.
But I do have to take these back, and on the total cost bid, there's a multiplier. I have to apply to that guaranteed
Yeah.
repurchase
Yeah.
To establish the present value of that guaranteed repurchase
Sure.
and so forth.
Yep.
And then I've got both bids have some exceptions on a sheet
As far as in terms of how they deviate from
from
specs?
specifications,
Okay.
yes, and I want to go through them. I hope to get back to you yet this morning, but I may not. It may have to be the 27th.
Okay.
Whatever works.
Yeah, I'll try to get through them, but if I don't,
Mr. Chair, we have a question out here.
My total cost is with the multiplier, and I thought we had to calculate it, but I took the calculation, and that is calculated down the total cost, so.
And for the record, would you tell us who you are and who you represent, please?
Chad Kessler with Ideal Equipment, been with the company for about 20 years, so, yeah, very happy to be able to bid you some graders today.
well,
Okay.
with that multiplier, then the actual money you would be repaying in 7 years would be higher than that?
Yeah, 127, 127.5.
Okay, okay. Yep, that's the number I was looking for, and then I was gonna put the number to it, but you already did it, so.
127.
127.5, okay. But I'll look at those numbers and
Okay, and I guess let's make sure that if he doesn't get back today,
I've got
the
it on
minutes
here.
reflect that it'll be next week. I
Okay.
guess it wasn't technically the way it was framed, but.
Okay, that's fine.
Just,
another
Mr. Chair,
time.
one
Yes, sir.
comment. With the RDO and Butler reps here and Rick, I had a chance this past week to talk with the heavy equipment operators at the Lake Area Tech Institute in their program up there. And remember last year, we did, I don't remember all the specifics. Was that last year or 2 years ago? 2 years ago. And we've not heard anything from them and so on and so forth. But they were very, very pleased, said probably the best piece of equipment they have up there is that motor grader that they got from us through, was it Butler?
Right.
That's what I thought it was.
Butler,
But anyway.
That was, what, 2 years ago we did that?
Yeah.
Said they were very grateful, and man, someday they'd sure like to do that again, but it worked very, very well. Good piece of equipment, they said.
And what they did in the Butler cooperation, Butler had offered a repurchase on that machine, but rather than them taking that machine back, they gave the VOTEC the opportunity to buy that machine for the same as what they had guaranteed repurchase on it. And I think, I agree with you, VOTEC got a real good buy on that machine.
Yep.
One other quick question, Mr. Chair. Is, obviously no insult intended, but is there a big difference between the Cat and the John Deere? The question I'm asking is like GMC compared to Chevrolet, it's basically the same truck, but different, different grill, different logos.
They're different, but
Different engines.
they have different controls and so forth. There's a little bit difference to them. They're both good machines. We've had Deere in the past. Right now, we've got all Cat, and we've had good luck with the Cat. Although
Okay.
The GMCs have lock washers. Instead of Chevrolets, they don't have lock washers.
They also have dollar bills in their sticker.
all right, thank you.
All right, we're moving on to item 5, and that is action to approve contracts with First District Association of Local Governments for parcel database maintenance, hosting of the GIS website, and planning and zoning services. Mr. Mueller, I see you in the audience. Why don't you come up and further elaborate?
Sure, thank you, good morning.
Hey, Luke.
Morning, Luke.
Here are the two that you probably may not have with you.
Okay, did you give the contract I had sent?
The zoning, yes. Yep, they have seen that.
Yeah, we have all
Okay.
that stuff.
The contracts and of course the parcel data and the map-based information, of course, I don't have as much to do with. That's something Todd and Ryan in our office spend a lot of the time with. I'm not aware of any changes from what we've done in the past, but that's something that we've got. The one portion as far as the website goes is that's the maintenance of the website that is used. Frankly, it's one of those things that you don't realize how many people use it until it doesn't work. And it is used by underwriters, realtors, basically the general public, anyone. I mean, I know I've spoken with many banks about it as well as far as information. I don't know. I'm not in the equalization office all the time. Well, frankly, I'm not in the equalization office, but I would have to think that's decreased foot traffic into that office because a lot of the information is available by looking at a map, and frankly, for people like me that would rather just look at a map and see it rather than go hunt down a card, it's very helpful. I use it out of the zoning office, especially if I don't have, if I've got a different computer, if I'm over with someone else, and so that I can just quick show them where one thing or another is. Parcel database maintenance, that's the same maintenance that we've done as far as just showing where property lines are, continuing to maintain that. So as far as questions, I don't know that I can answer many aside from just, I like them. At the zoning office.
I'll take those back.
Yeah. The zoning office contract would be, I'm have a lot of words of wisdom that I haven't imparted before on, as far as this contract goes, because it's the same contract that you've had in the last several years. Comes down to contracting with First District as your zoning officer, and I've said it before, I've said it many times, I've appreciated being able to work with the county. I hope it works as well for the county as it does out of our office. Our goal is to do what you want and administer the ordinance the way that the county would like it to be administered, and administer the rules that the county wants. And so that's what we've tried to do. The contract's laid out simple, what the zoning office is expected to be doing, and that being First District employees doing that. It's
I mean,
been
no,
me for the most
that's
part,
the database.
going down through, so
Yeah.
zoning officer and drainage official for whatever answers, whatever questions I can answer as far as that goes, and preparing necessary reports. The main thing is same hours we've always had, 500, minimum 500, maximum expected is 600. I know that in the past we've talked about there's times where things come up. Every year something does, and the main thing that we've always done is if we know it's going to be a little bit longer, a few more hours or even less for that matter, try to come in and give you a heads up of that before it happens and work through whether or not we need to start to pare back time or not. I also have to set office hours into there, which is what we've done, the 9 to 11, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The public's pretty used to that, so we handle it that way. The only change, just for what it's worth, the only change to the contract is the federal mileage rate, and basically county pays district federal mileage rate, and I just wrote in what it is expected to be in January, which obviously that, whatever it is at the time.
Move to approve.
Just wait, we need 3 separate motions.
I was
I was
just going to ask
wondering.
that question.
Let's
Okay,
start
so-
with the parcel database,
Okay.
all right.
and that is for $6,000, the exact cost as last year.
Okay, is that your
Yep.
motion, Commissioner
Second.
Hinton?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gable. Discussion on award of that contract and chairman to sign is in order? Yeah.
Just a quick question, Mr. Chairman. Do you know, I saw that in the scope of work, it talked about maintaining and correcting discrepancies. Does that happen a lot with, you may not know the answer to that question, where the, say, equalization and your GIS folks get together and make sure that's all, the data is reflected?
The main thing I can tell you, to know the number of times, no, I don't. I do know though that they work together to figure out if these acres don't match, what's the issue? Was it
Right,
something
yeah,
on a
yeah.
transfer, was it something on what's been drawn? It's basically a checks and balances.
Yeah, no, just curious.
Any other questions? Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. If you're in support, say aye.
Aye.
And if you're opposed, say no. The
Motion
next
carried. Okay,
item,
the next one is the GIS website. Total cost for the project is $10,000, of which the county share is $3,100. And the funding for this project is shared between the Watertown Development Company, Cottington County, Watertown Municipal Utilities, and the City of Watertown, and this is the same amount
Move
as
approved.
before.
Second.
Okay, motion by Johnson, second by McElhaney to approve that contract. Discussion is in order. Questions?
Mr. Chair, just as a reinforcement of using this, it's wonderful. In planning and zoning, when we're, as yesterday, we had a situation where you put it up on the overhead or on the screen, and you can find those lot lines, and it's very specific, and it's very, very useful if for us in the planning and zoning area. We use it all the time, and it's great to have it. So thank you for that service. It's good.
I might also, Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
would also add, it's a tool of transparency in local government too, so just access for everybody, really.
Okay, any other comments or remarks? Hearing none, if you're in support of the motion, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried.
I would make a motion then that we continue with First District for their services
On,
as our planning and zoning.
all right.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Hanton, a second from McElhaney, to approve the contract with First District for planning and zoning services. I'm going to make a comment, if I may. I, too, attended the meeting that Commissioner Johnson referred to briefly a moment ago, which was a joint meeting of the County Commission and the Planning and Zoning Commission. And what caught my attention was the very careful thought to the process that was given to that meeting and in what order things would be done. And it just facilitated a very easy discussion of a topic that frankly may be a little bit contentious in some circles, and we may hear more about that next week. But nonetheless, it enabled us to move forward in an orderly, civil kind of way. And I guess I just can't say enough good things about what First District has done for this county since this contract and their services have been used to replace otherwise well-intentioned but not quite so competent predecessors performing those services.
I would also like to add to the fact that they only do what we ask them to do, so it's on our request, and that's how we receive the information. It's not them telling us, it's us asking them for their service.
Okay.
I as well would comment that, you know, the specifics and the information that they bring to us on the issues is phenomenal. You know, the explanations of what you know, the meat and the potatoes of each item that is it's just been great, so.
Mr. Chair, my comment would be to echo just what you have said. In addition to that, I think what I really appreciate is, I mean, they look at it from the 10,000-foot level. They have no bias. I mean, they're very, very careful not to favor one group over another group, and we really appreciate that. And I use them, as Luke, whenever I have a question that comes up in reference to, can we put a house here, or can we put a road here, or whatever, I send them right to Luke. And it's very, very reassuring for us as commissioners to know that we have that expertise sitting there to help us out, and it's very much appreciated. And we're all under a lot of heat right now in some certain situations, but, you know, just stick to the plan and stick to the law and the ordinances, and we're fine.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, just
Yes, sir.
if I could add too, just agree with everybody. But there's in addition to the high altitude view, there's a lot of detailed work that goes on, and I think it's a very like writing a zoning ordinance, for example. It's a lot of detail work, and that's something I think we couldn't do without that expertise. And it really is facilitating. It's not steering, it's facilitating that dialogue between us, the constituents, and as we talk about, you know, what we want in our ordinances. So.
Well,
Okay.
thank you.
Any other remarks on the motion? The cost on this one, Cindy, is how much?
$27,000.
650.
27,650.
Correct.
27,
Yep.
650.
Okay, so it's a little greater sum of money. I'm going to ask the auditor to call the roll on this vote. If you're in support, indicate by saying aye, and if you're opposed, say no.
Commissioner Gable.
Aye.
Commissioner McElhaney.
Aye.
Commissioner Johnson.
Aye.
Commissioner Brinkman.
Aye.
Commissioner Hanton.
Aye.
That's 5 votes in favor, none
All right.
against.
Motion is carried. Thank you, sir.
Thanks,
Job
Luke.
for another year.
You as well.
Merry Christmas, Luke.
Thanks.
Thanks, Luke.
And please convey our words of support and thanks for the clean operation to Todd and the rest of your staff, colleagues, if you would, please.
I'll certainly let them know. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Luke.
Item 6 is an action to approve the operating cash transfer as budgeted.
This is our last operating cash transfer. It's the second half of the funds that are budgeted for transfer to the Highway Department from the general fund, and the amount is $423,803.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by McElhaney, second by Gable to make that transfer. Discussion. Hearing none. If you're in support, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. The ayes have it, that motion is carried. Item 7 is an action to supplement budgets with our Commissioner Contingency Fund.
And we have paid bills for the final time this year. We've also finished up with December payroll, so we should not have any more claims unless something comes up in the next week that has to be taken care of. So we have 4 budgets that need to be supplemented with Commissioner's contingency. The first one is the election budget, which will need $1,728.04. The collection agency budget will need $2,456.57. Court-appointed attorney budget will need $11,510.18. And the coroner budget will need $1,331.08. And this is the second time that we have supplemented that budget. So the total that we need to supplement is $17,025.87, and that will leave $126,701.79 in Commissioner's contingency.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved by Hinton, second by McElhaney to approve those budget supplements as enumerated. Discussion? Hearing none. If you're in support, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, say no. The ayes have it. That motion is carried. Item 8 is payroll claims. Anything out of the ordinary, Cindy?
This is the month in which we pay out longevity to employees who have worked at least 6 continuous years for the county. The initial payment is from years 6 through 10. You earn $100 per year for longevity, and then there's a scale that that increases with each year. The maximum that we pay is for 25 years, and that's $625. So in addition to our regular salary, payroll claims, we are paying out $15,440 in longevity to county employees, excluding the county commissioners who qualify for longevity. So the total salary claims for the month of December are $507,192.31.
Move to approve those
Second.
claims.
Hinton has moved to approve the payroll claims, and McElhaney the second. Is there discussion? I'm hearing none. If you are in support, say aye.
Aye.
And if you're opposed, say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried. Item 8 looks like just a comment from the auditor.
Per our previously adopted policy, we follow what the state does for holiday closures. So this Friday, the courthouse and all county offices will close at noon. Employees who are required to stay on staff will be given 4 hours of administrative leave as the other employees who get the afternoon off. Then we are closed because Christmas Day falls on Sunday. We are closed on Monday the 26th. Because January 1st falls on Sunday, we are closed on January 2nd. No action is needed.
All right. Item 10, claims for payment must be a couple.
Yep, a few that came in that we need to clean up. Our direct deposit payments to our Visa accounts, $229.76 for search and rescue supplies, $37.99 for election supplies, and $390.21 for miscellaneous purchases for the sheriff's office. Those are all Visas. The Beacon Center, the third quarter payment for our domestic abuse collections will be paid out $3,249. This should have been paid out in October, but with the election, it just got overlooked, so we are making that payment now. This is based on the fees collected by the Register of Deeds and Clerk of Courts. The next one is to the Cottington County Treasurer, $20.52. This is for postage reimbursement when We get a lot of mail that comes postage due, and in the best interests of customer service and keeping things moving, we pay those postage due costs so that we can get our information. We need to reimburse the treasurer's petty cash fund for that. Johnson Appraisal, $1,500. That was for the appraisal of the Highway 212
site, yeah.
property. Our 911 surcharge payment to the City of Watertown is $22,094.86. And then we had one mileage check for one of the planning board members that missed payroll, so we included it with these claims, and it's for Mel Reese. It's $15.12 for his mileage for one meeting.
Move to
Move to
approve.
approve.
Motion by Johnson, second by Hinton to approve the claims for payment. Discussion. Hearing none, if you're in support, say aye.
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 And opposed, say no. The ayes have it, that motion is carried. Are you anticipating no more claims then next week?
Anticipating yet, but we will have it on the agenda just in case
Sure.
something comes through that we
We
feel
want to get
needs.
in the year.
Yeah,
Okay.
yep.
Item 11 is budget supplements, if any.
We have one budget supplement for $1,500. This is Homeland Security grant funds, and it's to reimburse the county for a hazmat training that we put on.
Move to approve.
Second that.
Motion by McElhaney, second by Hinton to approve that supplement. Discussion.
And that will go into the emergency management fund and budget.
Any other comments? Hearing none, if you're in support, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it, that motion is carried. Item 12 is personnel changes.
I have nothing for 12 or 13.
Item 14 is old business. Is there any? Item 15 is new business. Is there any? Item 16 is the open.
Well, I do not have any events going on that there could be a quorum of commissioners up till next Tuesday, unless Rotary, somebody would come as a guest possibly, but I don't know if anyone else has anything that I'm missing.
Mr. Chairman, just, if, I should probably have mentioned this under old business, just to, since we're live streamed, I wanted to mention the dates of the next couple Justice Advisory Committee events.
Please do.
Yeah, so the next committee meeting is January 5th. That's in the evening at 6:10 LATI and at Lake Area Technical Institute. And then the next public presentation is January 24th at 6:30, also at Lake Area Technical Institute. And just an update on the December 6th meeting that we had, the public presentation that we had. All those materials are online, either on the Facebook page or on the county website. The audio recording and everything, if people want to check that out. And then just an update, the borings, the soil borings, both sites, the 212 site and the auditorium site, are taking place either today or tomorrow. So right around this time frame. So as they get to it with the weather and things. So.
Okay, yes, sir.
One thing, Mr. Chair, so we're watching ourselves live. It's all working properly, so I would say everything is good to go and working well. So I would just ask a little favor of our news people to spread the word that you can sit at home on your computer and watch the meetings live from now on. So.
All right, thank you for that comment. Cindy, does the agenda for next week include approval of labor union contracts?
It does.
All right.
It does.
And just to kind of update on that, I've had correspondence, and maybe the rest of you have been copied on it, from Mr. Satterley indicating, I believe, 2 of our 3 bargaining units have agreed to the county's last, best, and final offer. And so
And the third
the other one's going to vote
meeting
today,
today,
I believe.
correct,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
So we may have all 3 to approve next week, pending the outcome of that.
And it looks like we'll have motor grader bid acceptance next week, too.
Right, yeah.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Hanton has moved to adjourn, and McElhaney has seconded. If you're in support of adjournment, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
And if you're opposed, say no.
Stop the stream. Just looks like there's just kind of a delay for about, a minute or so.
There's a 21-minute delay. 21 seconds. Yep.
It took a while for it to come up when I was watching on my computer.